The most powerful thing you can do is to make videos that then can be, this is the whole point of the content factory. They can be turned into other kinds of content, right? Hey, there you are, Michael.
How are you? How's the vacation? Or is it vacation or is it work or both? Or
I don't know. I think I've been on vacation the last 20 years, but I get to hang out with people and make money, so that's always a good thing.
well, you enjoy what you're doing, and that's one of the many reasons why you're successful, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like imposter syndrome. There's so many people, all my mentors and these other people are way more successful than me. So I don't know. I just want to learn from them, and be around them.
There are a lot of smart people in the world, and yeah, I know what you're feeling. Like I was listening to, I guess one of the Perry's guys. He had like a seminar, and he was talking about his lawn business, right? And I think it's Scott or something, and like he's
Anthony,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I think I'm sorry, I think he's like, yeah, like 4.4 million. I'm like, that's a lot of lawns. Like that's a lot of like grass cutting. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's always just
Yeah.
good to hear the paradigm shift. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, wow, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he also has up to 70 people too. And it's not just lawns, it's trees, it's Christmas ornaments, it's all this stuff. And he even at the last that AI seminar thing, I didn't realize he went up on stage and did this whole testimony about me about how he grew $1.2 million by working with us.
No, getting, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because I like that because where I've got a lot of different moving parts, and now that I'm starting to get a little bit more settled, exactly. Like I appreciate you saying that because I think that the area that you talk about, kind of like Scott, and I'm working with him on AI. He's like a kid in a candy shop. I mean,
Yeah.
every time he gets together, he's excited. But no, but it's just different things like that where I look at it and go, well, for us, like so much of how could people find us, a lot of it is still through online searching. So for us, SEO is important, and so I appreciate your email. So now I know a bit more about the website that you were talking about with your staff, and so
Yeah.
some of the things that you were like talking about doing, maybe I can't do at the
Okay.
moment with that go high level. Um,
Okay.
I think that because you were saying like, hey, like WordPress would be much better to get better Google results with, right?
High levels for landing pages where it doesn't have to show up on Google.
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't. Okay. I see. So eventually down the road, not that I want to do it right now, but maybe that's something that I look into that say, maybe I switch the website designs.
You could have a VA do it for $500 on Upwork,
Wow.
maybe $600, but definitely everything you want for less than $1,000.
I've heard of Upwork and that, but okay. So yeah, because you're saying that right now, the way the structure is through landing pages, I understand that they're trying to create, I guess, it just like when we put a rental market on, because it's vacant to rent it out, they have a separate landing page. Our
Right.
old website didn't do that. So I think that by having more landing pages, theoretically, you might be trying to attract attention that way, where more people are going to landing pages versus, my previous website that didn't do that, but maybe it was on WordPress. So it was a different
You
philosophy.
can use both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because landing pages are all about attracting the sale or about one particular property versus WordPress at the core is a blogging platform that allows us to share information and knowledge and videos and how to do this and all this evergreen content, which is not what a landing page, make the phone ring kind of tool. They're not the same thing.
Right. Yeah. You're doing something very, very, very specific
Yeah.
versus, okay. So
Yeah.
that I appreciate that. So some of the things I've been working on. So I wanted to, so yeah, I
Okay.
know, we're not here for long. I want to get your thoughts. I appreciate it. And then as I move more and more into this,
Okay.
right, like I do want to hear more about what you guys do. So if I were to go to our website, so last
Hit
time,
the share screen button, the green button
yeah,
on the bottom
absolutely.
center.
Feedback. Okay, so I'm just trying to pull that up. Okay, here it is,
All right.
screen two. All right, so if we go to, and I don't know if you can see that yet. I'm going to
Yep,
go
I
to,
see it.
okay, great. So if I go to the website and on here, the power of the internet, here it is. It's going to come up at any moment. Okay, so one of the things that I started to work with a bit with Scott. So I did bring up a blog with
Okay.
rentals and that. So from your suggestion last time. So
Yeah.
what I've often done is I've shot a video, translated into text, then I use Scott's tool for SEO optimization. So
Yeah. But
like,
you understand, Michael, that the ingredients have to come from you. The AI doesn't generate the ingredients. The AI Scott's tool and whatever can process the ingredients, but you have to make those videos, collect the testimonials, all that stuff, right?
Absolutely, because anything I do, I can't say everything on the website. Like you're saying, we got to change this main photo because it's stock. But a lot of the writing, not all, but I would have to say at least 60 to 80% of the writing is all mine.
Okay.
Like it's not because
Even if it is written by you, it has to have elements of EEAT,
right.
right? Experience. You have to talk about your actual experience. So a lot of people that are property managers will like talk about how do you deal with tenants and making sure they pay and maintenance, and the AI can do a better job at talking about those things. But when you weave in your actual experiences, I remember when the hurricane came through Fort Myers and this and that, like you're telling stories. The AI can't tell your stories. Your
Okay.
experiences are the raw ingredients the AI can then process.
Okay, no, I appreciate that because I've done exactly what I've talked about for like, well, I'll show you what I've done. So we were talking a bit about before you did a search on Bonita Springs, and you were saying, hey, like this is, nobody's, no keywords, all this other stuff. So if I go down to Bonita Springs, what I did,
And if you're in Bonita Springs, you walk around and like, hey,
take
this
a
is the
photo.
Costco and all this, and yeah,
Exactly. So this is a little bit of where I went. So first thing I did was the people also ask
yeah,
questions. I
okay,
did for all Bonita Springs. Okay. Then I did specifically videos about Bonita Springs. What I mean by that is I talk about Bonita Springs,
okay,
demographics, you know,
okay,
the area, that sort of thing. So one was management fees, a guide to
okay.
a gift, a guide to landlords, and exploring the rental
Yeah.
market, property management. Okay. So
Yep. All
then
the PAA. Yep.
okay. So is that like, that's a little bit more what you were saying? I think
That's
that,
good. But you also want to show that you are in Bonita Springs and you're
okay.
walking around Bonita Springs and this is my favorite Starbucks and this is where the traffic is and they're building a new shopping center over here. And
Okay.
so a lot of
Got it.
that is like you can answer a lot of the PAA just from where you are right now in the office. All
Absolutely.
those videos are going to look kind of the same and the information might be good. And of course, ChatGPT can enhance it with all this other information. I'm sure Scott's added some stuff about you in there, but
Sure.
there's nothing as powerful as you walking around Fort Myers and Bonita Springs and interviewing other people and capturing pictures and videos and all that kind of stuff. So what I like to use, Michael, as a proxy is my Google Maps. So whenever I check in or whatever, like I leave reviews or whatever, because I know later the AI or a VA or whatever can go back in and grab that, right?
All right. So if I went to a Bonita Springs restaurant, as an example, or San Carlos, say, oh,
Yeah.
great, I enjoyed
Yep.
three peppers here, and then they know
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
it. Okay.
especially if you make a little 15-second video with the manager or the owner of any of these businesses. It doesn't have to be a sit-down podcast, but literally just like 15 seconds or 1 minute saying, "Hey, I really like the crab cakes at this place. I come here every Friday. I'd love to know like what's the secret of your crab cakes?" Well, the secret is whatever, you know.
Secret of crab cakes. Okay. Absolutely.
I'm
Okay.
just saying, you're just trying to start conversations with people in the community, but
Sure.
quick little conversations that can be repurposed into social. And when it's
Right.
repurposed to social and then can tie in as experiences that infiltrate the blog post, like that adds the ingredients to the blog post.
You're
Otherwise,
proving
you're
that you
generating
are
a
who
bunch
you
of
are.
text. You see, what I'm trying to say is most people use these AI tools and they think about how amazing the AI tools are, but the AI tools are just generating text. They don't embed actual pictures and videos, and you only need to sprinkle in a little bit here and there. This is not like your full-time Gary Vaynerchuk now as an influencer. I'm not saying that. You do not need to spend a lot of time, just a few minutes a week doing this. Over
Yes.
time, this builds up just like collecting more reviews, right?
Right. No, absolutely. That's good because that's the one thing I've started to get into generating content. All these answers are my own.
Yeah.
Okay. And, even point to videos that I've done on my blog, things like that. So, like as an example, what I did for Lehigh, if I can show you, we have a picture of our actual business.
Okay.
Now, so what you're saying is maybe doing more videos. So as opposed to Bonita Springs, this is our actual office in Lehigh. And then I did another video.
I just see your MLS login thing. Maybe on another screen.
Oh, am I? Oh, wait a second. Hold on here. You're saying, oh, okay, hold on here. Let me see. That's crazy. Okay, so hold on.
Oh, here we
You,
go.
you
Lehigh.
see,
All right. Yeah.
okay, you see that? Sorry. I slid it over so I wasn't looking everywhere.
All right. So yeah, so this picture shows half of it is the freaking concrete parking lot with cracks in it.
I know. So I was just trying, thank you, because that's what I'm trying to show it the right way or not. So outside of backing out of the concrete, I get it. But is there something like, is this fine? to put a script like this on it? Is this how you kind
It's
of try
fine.
to
Yeah.
start? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
But,
So
but
yeah, I
make
know.
sure that's all in your GMB. You want to pimp out your GMB. Key for you ranking locally is well, it's now called GBP, but your Google Business Profile. Tons of pictures and videos, other people leaving reviews, especially leaving like friends of yours. They can come in and leave a 5-star review with a character kind of, story about how they know Michael, right?
Right. Yeah, because we're up to like
They don't
248.
have
I
to be
told them.
clients, right? They don't have to have like 3 properties or, whatever.
That would be helpful. Okay. So right. So take care of this. So in other words, what you're saying is do I did this because Lehigh, because it's showing we are in Lehigh. I thought,
Sure.
that sort of thing. Um, I was going to do, people also ask questions and do it for every single area because again, back here we have a lot of different kind of sub areas, cities,
Uh-huh.
like you're saying.
So you
Okay.
have location service pages on all of them, right?
Good question. I don't,
Good.
yeah, I don't,
Okay, see there. So there you have all these other ones, Fort Myers, Cape Coral.
yeah.
So just start pimping out those pages with EEAT.
Exactly. So answering the questions, doing a specific video on it, taking photos.
Ideally, when you're there, or your team members that are there, or you crowdsource it, like real videos, 15 seconds to a minute with little stories, right? Not just a picture of the building, right? There's no
Okay,
story
yeah,
picture.
yeah, absolutely. Okay. So in other words, instead of putting that photo up, what you might say is on the Lehigh like webpage like I am now, you might say something like that's a stock photo. But in other words, if I came back up here, you might be
Yeah,
saying,
the picture of the people smiling and looking at the chart that you had, but don't use any of that.
yeah, yeah, you're saying get rid of this, maybe having a video with me outside of it saying, hey
Yeah,
guys,
saying, "Hey, welcome,
welcome.
welcome to our office here in Lehigh. Hey, it's not
And
much of
then,
an office, but we're located here and there. We're like a mile away from this highway, and
yep,
we're open this hours. And oh, come meet Stephanie, who's in the whatever.
yep,
That's
absolutely.
it, right? A quick
Okay,
little.
good.
You're establishing context of where you are, what you do, who you work with, kind of introduce like an about. But hey, we're here at the office, and that way that gets posted to YouTube. You embed the YouTube video on the location page. Now you're Google
Right,
stacking because you're using Google properties inside Google properties, right?
right.
You add it to your Google My Business, but your Google Business profile. You share that on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all. You see what I'm saying? That video
Yeah,
you put everywhere, right? You can use it
yeah,
10 times. Why not?
absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I'm still working on a little bit of the more of the
It'll
social
take you
media
one
stuff.
minute with your phone and a walk and
Yeah,
talk to make that video. Literally, it's
yeah,
not.
I get it. Yeah,
It's
it
it's a
doesn't have to be a
it's a mental
production.
block. It is not like a lot of people think it's a lot of work. I promise you, I can do it in 1 minute.
Yeah,
If I
I
work
know what
harder,
you're.
I can do it in 1 minute.
I know. When I'm doing the videos, I've said, "Hey, do you want me to change the background?" The guy's like, "No, it's about the content. It's not about the shirt you're wearing." Like they've said, like,
Right? It's not your
stop me.
hair. I don't even have any hair. Just make the video,
Exactly.
answer the questions, right?
Absolutely.
Let them
Okay, so
see that you're actually there. You're trying because Judge Google assumes that because there's so much AI content now flooding the internet. Google assumes it's just AI, so that you have to give it signals that show like for sure this is real, right?
yeah, so and a video, like you're saying, or a photo, but even more so a video, like you're saying, instead of having
Video, tell a little story, walk around, right? Don't just stay in the one spot with the 3 palm trees. Like walk around a little bit,
yep,
introduce someone else, talk about the rest of the neighborhood, say you've been in
yep.
business for 20 years, whatever, right?
Right, absolutely right. And just go in there and say, "Hey, come and eat the old, Tuesdays and Thursdays,
Yeah.
9 to 5, whatever." So yeah, that sort of stuff. Okay, cool. So
Make it
yeah,
personal. There's
video.
nothing personal about this cracked
No,
concrete thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, got it. So yeah, I think that yeah. So kind of like still work on the text, but more so get videos on that prove that
The
we're
AI
actually
can take the video and turn it into text.
okay.
Scott's
Right.
tool, ChatGPT, whatever, can take the transcript of the
Yeah.
video because you post it on YouTube, right? You always post it on YouTube because it's a Google property.
Always. Yes.
From the YouTube, you can go down, click show more, grab the transcript, put that in a ChatGPT saying, "Hey, I've got a location service page or whatever. Can you take this and write an article from it?" And why sure, and then put it, right? You're done.
And then it blows it out. That's what I do with him. I do the video myself, all my
Start with the
content.
video,
Yep.
upload it to YouTube, use the AI to process it and write.
Yep.
And the AI is your editor, right? It does all it's a team of VAs for you, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is a VA in that.
Yeah.
So I could show you a bit. You wanted to see a bit about the rankings. Let me see if I can't bring it up here. So here it is. So last 30 days. So when we first talked, you said, hey, do some of
Uh-huh.
these things. So don't worry about the school, like Google stuff. This is where they're ranking like the 10 areas. So the
Okay.
area that I did the Bonita Springs one, the smaller one, you did like an initial keywords and that
Yeah, yeah.
up by three. And I know it doesn't happen instantaneous. The main thing that I think is interesting is that my Fort Myers one was down to around 11, but now it seems to be creeping up to 8.
Okay.
So this 24 Cape Coral, I have no idea why that, like, I don't know what happened.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're in the 40s and you move up or down, that's already zero anyway,
Yeah,
so it
like
doesn't matter.
like down by 25. I'm like, yeah, it's all because of this guy. So it's going in the right direction. And I think that if I start doing, like you're saying, the videos, answering the questions,
Yeah.
posting it on YouTube, I do that, and
Yeah.
especially with Scott. I was looking at, I saw your video that you gave to me about the pest control SEO,
Yes.
stuff like that. Just a couple of questions. Yeah, we're working on Google. I would say that you would probably think that Google reviews are more important than Better Business Bureau reviews.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Because that's, some people look at the Better Business Bureau, but for rankings and stuff,
It helps. It's a signal, but it's not an SEO one because Google trusts their own stuff more, of course.
that's what I kind of figured. Okay. You said 50% of all questions have not yet been answered. Do you think that that should go on a frequently asked question page? So in other words, I'm trying to build out questions.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, but every page is basically because an FAQ is really a PAA. They're the same thing.
Right. Okay, good. Because like I'm trying to through all these 10 areas, I'm trying to answer very specific questions, possibly for each area. I do a
Right.
video for each area, and like you're
Right.
saying, walk around, right?
Just as you're driving around and when you're in
Yep,
Northport, like make a couple videos here and there, right?
yep, absolutely. So exactly.
And
Okay.
put them on Google Maps so that way you can remember that way the system knows where they are because the photos are auto tagged, right? If you on your iPhone or whatever, you can choose to like share the coordinates and all that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I'd have to look at that. Like, yeah, I'd have to make sure it's turned on. Okay, so I know
Yeah.
what you're saying. So if I take a picture of a beach in
Uh-huh.
Naples and I have the actual coordinates on, Google knows that I'm not BSing.
Yeah, so I would even check in and like those are all locations. So you just post photos to the location. It takes you 3 seconds to do it. And
Yep.
now you have everything. Otherwise, if you just take photos and they're not tied to Google Maps, it's a little harder to process it, especially if you want to share it out to a VA to then, because you don't want to do it. You want the VA to do all that.
Right. So you typically take a photo and then you send that photo. You have your location tracking on it first,
Uh-huh.
so they know that you're actually in Dubai or
Yeah.
North Dakota. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you probably have somebody else do it for you to put it through all kinds of different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But I'll start with that. I'll start with the photos and go from there. Final thing, real quickly. I know you said, they could detect Chat GPT. Right.
Yeah.
I do not go to Chat GPT to get I might do some research, but everything I write is my own.
Okay. That's good.
Okay.
But just be careful of all these people saying they can beat the AI tools or ChatGPT, like whatever AI, like whatever tool it is, they're still limited. Maybe in 6 months from now, I'll have a different opinion, but there's nothing as good as human, like real human input. I don't
Right.
know if you should necessarily write. You can, but if you start with real quality ingredients of real videos, short videos of places and people, and ideally where you are, not just in the office there,
Mhm.
then you could, if you want, actually be the human to write those things into article into words. I'd say just use the AI to do it because it's learning your voice. And if you're using Scott and Scott's got a way to get your tone and your story and your all that, then great. But the most important thing is to show you're actually there. You're having real experiences with real people in the real locations.
Right. So if I have a property manager renting a property in Bonita Springs, what you're saying is take a short video
Yeah. And
and
then have
say,
have a profile on her, like, oh, this is Olga, and she's been doing this and that, and she likes to dance. I don't know, whatever, right?
yeah, yeah,
Profile, right?
yeah, exactly.
Show me she's a person. Because if,
Right,
if I show her picture and say AI, write a bio about her, it's like, well, it doesn't know what it's gonna like make stuff up, right?
right. And it's going to
You have
be
to actually supply the real ingredients.
right. Okay. Awesome. I thought of when I was listening to what you were saying from last time about the podcast. So I'm working on stuff first. I don't want to, for me, I want to be like a blog person. I want to do it the right way. I want to set aside time to do it the right way. The people that are higher than me in the search engine rankings, I was looking at them like, oh, number one, number one. Like, I'm like, wow, like, let me go to their website. I know who they are. They haven't posted a thing in the last year and a half on a blog.
Yeah, well, it's not very competitive where you are, so you don't look at them. You
No,
can do,
exactly. So what I look at is no, but I look at it the opposite way. If I start doing things consistently, it won't take me time
right.
to get up there, as opposed to if they were posting every week, like I've been
Yeah.
doing, or something like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so the podcast sort of thing. So I came up with an idea, and maybe you like this or not, but you were talking about pest control companies and talking to people, other pest control companies. I know a lot of professional management companies throughout the state of Florida,
Yeah.
Pensacola, Jacksonville.
And
So
they're not competitors because they're in other areas.
no, actually, they're exact opposite. They're like, great people that I admire as well. Now, would you
Interview
suggest
them, but turn them into guest blog posts where you can post on their site that links to you. So
guest
you want
blog?
to do a lot of these guest articles because you have very little trust with Google, very
Okay.
little links from other sites, which are votes for you.
Right. So would you suggest, for instance, I as a link, so some people call me up and say, Michael, I'm looking for a property manager. They've come to me for whatever way. Who
Huh?
do you know in Jacksonville? So I
Right?
thought not just a podcast with a guy like Mike Hodges, who I know, but
Sure.
maybe on my website doing a video and saying, hey, listen, if you're looking for a person in Jacksonville, I know.
That you don't, I mean, you could do it as a testimonial, but a podcast is about the experience and the relationship and stories and creating value, not like, oh, in Jacksonville, this is my go-to guy. If you're looking for a property manager, like that's a commercial. That's not a podcast.
Okay, no, no.
Podcast is you're elevating them about their expertise. Hey, what do you think about what's going to happen with, Trump? Is that going to cause property managers to like, I don't
Yeah,
know,
right.
talking about issues, right? Like, you understand a podcast,
Sure.
right?
No,
A
yeah, absolutely.
podcast is not a recommendation of somebody.
No. I was yeah, okay. So I didn't explain it the right way. I would do a podcast talking about a property manager in Jacksonville, finding out what's
Right.
happening there or whatever. What
Right.
I was saying is, in addition to that, I get asked outside of the podcast. I get asked, "Hey, I've got a property in Pensacola. Who do you know?"
Right.
I do know
Right.
people there legitimately. Now,
Yeah.
when you're talking about
Good. Good.
backgrounds,
Everything is content. Make it visible. Yes, you can share that.
so would you say, but you're saying something, do something more than links. So in other words, if I said to them, hey, listen, Mike, you're up in Jacksonville, I get asked about it on my actual website, I could put,
No, you take the podcast and have
yep,
G do its thing or whatever AI do its thing. And then at the top or at the bottom, and you'll say, by the way, if you're looking for a property manager and city name, and then you link to him from there. Right.
okay, got it.
Now that
Right,
creates value for him, and he should understand that. At the
yep,
same time, he should do the same thing for you. Right.
right,
Where he says like,
absolutely.
"Oh, it was such an honor to be on Michael's podcast, and we talked about this, that, and that." And then just it doesn't even have to be a recommendation. It just can be like, and Michael is, and where he mentions you in the blog post,
Right,
that just links to your site. It doesn't even have to be a specific endorsement of, oh, if you're looking for a property manager in Fort Myers, see, but you don't have
right,
to do merely
right,
the link and the city name is enough. Michael is a property manager in Coral Springs or like whatever it is,
right,
right?
whatever it is. Yeah. So, okay. So the podcast, okay, final question. So the podcast, which I mean, typically Spotify, there's iTunes, there's a lot of different ones. Where do you kind of put it on your website? Like,
YouTube, just call it a podcast. This Zoom you and I are having right now, we can literally call it a podcast.
right,
Podcast is nothing more than one or more people, ideally two people talking about something, right?
yeah,
That's it. You just call it a podcast. It
right.
doesn't
Call
have
it
to
a
be on
name.
Spotify or iTunes or whatever, right?
You could upload it there if you want, but okay, fair enough. So you do a Zoom session, you load it up to YouTube, you call it a Red Hot podcast or whatever, and then you
Yeah.
just fire it up and then you link
All
it.
you're doing, Michael, is you're having a video conversation with somebody else and you just call it a podcast to make it sound, everyone has a
Cool.
podcast now, right?
Okay. And then if it's done on YouTube, you get all the benefits to as opposed to
Yeah.
Spotify where
Yeah.
like somebody might not. Yeah.
I don't think it even matters. I mean, you do that if you want, but mainly put it on YouTube, embed the YouTube inside the blog post, share that blog post across Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that. And that
Okay.
will help. That's what drives SEO.
Okay.
And then
Well,
they
that's
share
what I
it.
learned.
Google sees that. Google sees the traffic off of it, right?
Okay, excellent. So right now we're not like Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm trying to work with Instagram. My LinkedIn, I have a personal business one. I think I'm going to merge it
Yeah.
now. So
But you
that's
see the
what.
access checklist where you have to go in and claim all the properties, or you could pay one of our VAs or any random VA, pay them $100 and they'll claim like all 50 or 60 of these. Of course, you keep the main ones, which you already have, but all these like secondary directories, just have a VA go in and claim all of them. They give you a spreadsheet with all the logins. That way you've claimed it. It's not like you're trying to be active on Quora or, or some Reddit or some random place like that.
I got it. I got it. So VA. So you guys do that then? Yeah.
Yeah. We
Okay.
do
Well,
it as a convenience, but you could hire any VA to do it for $100. It's not a big deal.
okay. Okay, no, I got it
Not
because
like it's not like high skill work. You know what I mean?
no, technical but not high skill. No, I got it. It's a more of a workaround thing. But for me, I'm not really, I like some technical issues and stuff like that. I find some of this fascinating, but I'm not interested in becoming some social media expert and influencer, like you said. I'm not at
Right.
all. Like if I didn't have to be on videos, I wouldn't. So it's not about
But
being.
once you've made those videos, now you can start to promote them for $1 a day in that area. So if you're in Bonita Springs and you're at this restaurant or whatever, then you put it on YouTube, you could boost that for $1 a day just to Bonita Springs. So
Right.
$1 a day for 7 days, you're spending $7 and you're promoting that business, that restaurant, but you're not even at the end, you're like, oh yeah, Mike, I'm a property management company, right? But that's how you're building awareness. It's way better than flyers and newspapers and TV ads and all that, right?
Absolutely. No, and I think the video is really the key. I mean, writing answers to questions in my own words is important, and that'll come back. But also, you're saying videos can't
I
be
say
fake.
those questions, answer those questions in video, use the AI to turn those into words.
Okay. Okay. So even the publicly asked questions like that, I should do a short video on it.
Any question you have, any content that you make, you should make as a video. Video can be turned into images and words,
Mhm.
right? I would
Right.
not, unless just for some reason you don't want to make videos, I would not start by writing words. The AI is going to be much better. That your team of VAs basically is going to be much better at doing that.
This is what I did. Like I did the video, then I used Scott's thing. This is what they basically came up with.
Great.
I mean, like this is like SEO. Like this is like I did kind of say it, but certainly like not in that order, not in that way. They filled in some stuff that I like. I get it,
Great.
but exactly. So that's good. But if I were looking at, like, for instance, maybe I'm off topic, but like if I looked at Bonita Springs, where you're saying, hey, establish authority. I did these, like, for instance, what is the average property management fee in Florida? Answer this great question. Yeah, it's got a lot of complexity to it, as I mentioned
Uh-huh.
before. And there's a,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, I can see you're answering the questions. What's the
okay. So the thing is do I do a short video on that specific question?
what that's what I've just said.
No, no, but
I've
every
tried
single
five
question.
ways to try to get you to make a video to answer the question and then let the
Okay.
AI turn that into text.
That's what I thought. Okay. I just want to make sure. So I will do like a 30-second video on it and then
Yeah.
make it. Okay. Got it.
Any content, start as video first, period.
Got it. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, then I have my homework. And then, Dennis, if you can
Because the
send me,
video you can repurpose. That's the whole point. The text you
yeah,
can't repurpose.
repurpose it. It can also be faked. Right. Like,
Yeah, and it just doesn't carry authority. There's no story. It's not real. I mean, just for many reasons, right?
yeah, video to YouTube and then repurpose it.
That's
Okay.
right. That's
Absolutely.
right.
If you want to have that person or whatever, like that wants to like book those, all the different social media platforms, Reddit and otherwise, which I don't use right now, but that would be great. I'd appreciate it. And then I'll go to work on this and
Yeah.
see. It's starting to take off. It's good. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you tweaking this. And then maybe in 30 days, I'll show you all the differences and
Yeah.
how amazing. And then down the road, I'd like to certainly work with you. So.
Yeah. I'd love to see it. If you can just get these foundational elements in place, which we're just, it's a little bit of effort to get the momentum going. But once you get that in place, there's all kinds of things we can do, but we just have to get through these basics
Well,
first.
exactly, because this is what I loved about it, because I did some things right, but I didn't do it as effective. So,
Right.
like you're saying, like these questions, I'm like, okay, I spent, no, now I know. I'll take a
Yeah.
question for Lehigh, I'll answer it in a video and repurpose it. That's the
Mhm.
entire point. So,
Mhm.
and we'll go from there. So, no, awesome. I
Okay.
appreciate it, Dennis. And then, yeah, we'll work a little bit more once I get some of these elements down.
Rock on, Michael. Good job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Talk to you
All
soon.
right. Talk
Thank you.
soon.